Thanks for clicking. My name is Mark Mitchell. I'm a mortgage broker here in London, Ontario. February's real estate data was just released as the London, Ontario market continued to hit new records in its real estate. With interest rate hikes almost assured with the Bank of Canada's upcoming rate announcement, buyers and real estate investors sought to once again rush into the market in order to beat the rate hikes. So what I want to do today is go over February's real estate data as London once again set numerous records for its average price and its median price. And then we'll go over briefly what to look for next, as we do have a number of indicators coming out, both from the Bank of Canada and from the inflation rate, which should give us a good idea of where the real estate market is heading. We will have updates out on the rate announcement coming down the pipe and on Canada's real estate data, which should be released anytime soon. Click like and subscribe if you want to get those updates, but for now, let's get into this London data. If you remember, in February, we were talking about London's January data setting unheard of records as the average home price was $773,000 in change. London put those records behind them, increasing the average house price by over $50,000, up to $823,842. A $50,000 increase in 1 month in London, Ontario. Much the same happened with the median sale price. Remember, the median is half as many houses were sold over this price and half as many properties were sold below that price. If you remember, in January, the median sold price in London was $753,000. That number ticked up to $777,000. So half as many houses in London were sold over that $777,000 and half as many were sold below. So we have the average sale price going up $50,000. We have the median sale price going up $25,000 in 1 month. These are unsurprising when we look at the sales to list price ratio. If you remember the sales to list price ratio, if you list your house for $100,000 and it sells for $110,000, the sales to list price ratio would be 110. London's sales to list price ratio went up from the January data, where it was 121.5, meaning on average properties went for 21.5% over asking price. That number, again, is far behind us, as the sales to list price ratio in the month of February was 125.6. So, on average, out of all the properties sold in London, they went 25.6% over their asking price. Very similar to January, the reasons for these massive increase in prices are both a combination of a lack of inventory. If you look, there wasn't a whole lot listed on Realtor.ca. And low interest rates, or even the impending interest rate hikes that are coming down the pipe. Similar to January, similar to December, buyers rushed in to take advantage of the lower cost of borrowing that we have had for the past few months, for the past few years, before the central bank moves to raise rates, which they are set to do today. Which they are set to do by at least 25 basis points. Looking towards the future, I would expect this trend to continue. 25 basis points, that's only 0.25%. That's not a huge rate hike, but it does symbolize a reversal of the interest rate policy that we've had for the past few years. So, once the Bank of Canada does signal that they are hiking rates, once that process is actually started, many would argue that they've kicked that can down the road for the past few months, 6-8 months even. But once that process does get started, it's going to signal to the market that the party is over, that the end of cheap money is near, and that these rate hikes are going to continue for at least the foreseeable future. As a result, I expect people to continue to run into the market, at least for the next few months, as they try to get those rates locked in as best they can before we get those 6, 7, 8 rate hikes that some economists, some banks are predicting. So, I expect that when we have this update this time in April, we should probably see more records being set in London, Ontario, and probably the surrounding area as well. I'm not sure how high these house prices can go. If you talk to any lifelong Londoner and you would have told them 5-6 years ago we'd see an average price of $820,000, they definitely would not have believed you. So, again, new record set in London, over $50,000 increase in our average house price since the month of January, and I would expect that this would only increase over the next couple months until the majority of those rate hikes that we're expecting do come to fruition, do come down the pipe, do come into existence. We will have updates on the Bank of Canada rate hike as soon as it comes out. And of course, we'll continue to have our inflation updates and our updates on the Canadian real estate data as well. Click like and subscribe if you want to get those updates, and thanks so much for watching.